All right, let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of the Joey Musto Show presented by Team Musto. Today is February 24th. It's a Tuesday. But what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to look at the past 7 days in Maui real estate from the 22nd, which was Sunday. That's when most of the show was created. So we're going to start with some macro data and then we're going to get into Maui specifically. So mortgage rates hit their lowest level in more than 3 years at 6.01%. It was a clear drop from 6.09% the week before. Gives finance buyers more buying power, especially in the condo market. So when it comes to affordability on Maui, usually um, what's pe keeping people from buying homes is the median price and the entry level price. It's not really the monthly payment or the mortgage payment. Most people can find a way to get that done, but the problem is that as the median price continues to rise and as the entry level prices get higher, people can't even get their foot through the door. So I don't think the drop in mortgage rates, I mean, even though it's a pretty decent drop, I don't think it helps people. Um, Looking for single family homes, but it does make a difference. If you're looking for a condo, if you're in the price range, 500 grand to 800 grand, maybe this is something that gets you off the sideline, the drop in mortgage rates. But for single family home buyers, first time home buyers, uh, I don't think this data really affects them that much. And more specifically in Maui, so new escrows took their biggest 1 week fall this year, dropping from 49 to 34. It's down 30.6%. And in 2026, we've had five up weeks where we saw new escrows increase. And then we've had three down weeks. Just kind of shows inconsistency in the market for buyers. Lowest escrow count of the year means less competition, more time to shop, stronger negotiating power on price, credit, and terms. So, if anything, this is just more proof that we're clearly in a buyer's market. For sellers, you cannot rely on market momentum. So, if you see new escrows jump 1 week, it doesn't mean the market has shifted in any meaningful way. It'll probably go down the week after. And correct pricing from day one is critical on the first 2 weeks. So, all the things that sellers should do while we're in a buyer's market, they should continue to do. And this drop in new escrows just supports that. Next, we're going to look at home inventory. It fell by nine. Which area saw the biggest decrease? So Kihei drove the inventory drop, removing six of the nine homes. That's nothing crazy to see. Kihei always has the most activity. Um, Whether it's condos, single family homes, Kihei is kind of the area that people want to be. Condo inventory decreased in central Maui, and Wailea led by Wailuku down three, Kahului down one, and Wailea down two. So on this point, Kihei kind of appeals to everybody. If you're a single family home buyer or you're a condo buyer, like with the condos, there are some where you can do the vacation rentals. If you're looking for a single family home, you're not it's the prices aren't crazy like they are in Wailea, and you're kind of still located in a part of Maui where you can get to places. If you're looking for a single family home, if you live here, it's convenient. There's just a ton of positive reasons to be in Kihei, no matter what the reason you're buying is for. Um, Whereas like Wailea, it's a specific kind of buyer. It's people with a lot of money. It's people, who can spend 2 grand a month on HOA fees and uh and yeah, they're not necessarily concerned with affordability. And then Central Maui is also more specific because you're not going to get the vacation people like you are in Kihei. So Central Maui, it's going to be somebody that probably lives here. Um, so that's why Kihei is just the most appealing to the most amount of people. Um, so yeah, West Maui condo inventory increased with Napili up five, Lahaina up four, Kaanapali up two. West Maui's kind of a similar thing to Kihei. It's just like once you go to West Maui, if you're visiting here, you kind of stay out there. It's not a ton of it's just not as convenient as Kihei is, to everything else that the island has to offer. So again, that's why Kihei leads. For buyers, fewer homes in Kihei means less selection, so be ready to move fast with a strong, clean offer. That point is a little bit overdone. There's still a ton of inventory everywhere. I mean, Maui Meadows is basically um, well, it's kind of on the border of Wailea and Kihei, but there's 16 active listings there. The days on market is crazy high. So it doesn't, if you're looking to buy in Kihei, you don't have to be stressed out right now. But for sellers, less competition in Kihei puts more attention on well-priced homes, improving your chances of getting into escrow without major reductions. So my point here for sellers is like today, if I was selling, I would be priced at fair market value. But if there was ever a place you could get away with being a little bit priced a little bit high, Kihei is the best market to do it in, just because, the demand is stronger than it is in other areas of Maui. Um, so yeah, if you're a seller and you want to overprice and you're in Kihei, you might get away with it. Price reductions hit 71 in the last 7 days, representing 4.5% of the entire active market. So we saw 37 condo price reductions on Maui. These ones were my favorite. Wailea Palms, 2504. This thing has an ocean view, two bed, two bath. It was a 400 grand price drop. I like the fact that it's second floor. It does have a killer ocean view, and you are close to the shops at Wailea. You're close to the three different golf courses out there. My only problem with Wailea Palms is the maintenance fees are like $1,500 a month. Um, but that's up to the buyer if they think the amenities are worth it. All I can say is like if you can literally walk to Wailea Beach, you'll probably spend most of your time there. So I wouldn't worry too much about the amenities. Wailea Fairway Villas, so V202, this one reduced from 1.22 million to 1.17 million. It was about a 50 grand price drop. This thing is right on the golf course. It has awesome ocean views. You can't do short-term rentals at this place, but here's some of the pictures of it. So I'm a big fan of this complex, just because I would like to be on the golf course. I think that's cool, and I like the ocean view. Sunsets on the lanai. Look at that place, is spectacular. So I don't want to spend too much time getting into all the pictures there, but it's about 1,000 square feet of living space, remodeled in 2019. Maintenance fees are high again, right under $1,300. Been on the market 165 days. And yeah, just had the price reduction. So that could be worth looking at for you. And then this Puone Gardens, unit 13. So this is a completely different kind of complex, different kind of unit. This is in Central Maui. This is more for people that are looking to live on Maui. It's a two bed, one bath. It dropped from 449 to 415. In my opinion, it's not the most desirable complex in Central Maui. I'm more of a fan of like Iao Parkside or Kahului Ikina. But there was a price reduction here. The pictures don't look too bad. And yeah, you have a lower maintenance fees. You're also in Kahului. And then we saw 24 single family home price reductions. These two stood out. So Maui Meadows, like I was talking about earlier, this one has 16 active listings there. This place, 561 Kaleo Place, reduced from 2.39 million to 1.995 million. It was almost a 400 grand price drop, about 16.5%. Two bed, two bath main home, one bed, one bath Ohana. Now this Ohana 720 square feet. The pictures, it doesn't feel that big, but it is. I think this is straight. Let's get right into the Ohana. Yeah, so here's the upper level of the Ohana. The view of this Ohana is absolutely insane. So nice little deck with the ocean view. Um, so I mean, just compare that to a condo in Maui, and I think it's pretty nice. Yeah, so there it is. There's the pool. There's the main home. Obviously, a lot of this is well, these ones might be the actual picture, but a lot of this is virtual staging. So we won't get too much into the pictures, but I like Maui Meadows. There's no HOA at Maui Meadows. Um, this one's been on the market 214 days. That's probably why you're seeing that significant price drop. Um, and yeah, so that one I like in Maui Meadows. And then this is a completely different one. This is a very selective kind of buyer. Um, this is Halama Street. So this is one of the best streets on the island. You're gonna see these homes sell at a very high price. So hopefully there's a buyer out there watching this video that wants to get something on Halama Street because these places are incredible. So there's the main house. Now a lot of these places you see the pool kind of in the backyard. So I don't know if this is the reason that the price is a little bit lower on this one. But it's on the good side of the road. I mean, the other side is nice as well, but this side has the beach there. So yeah, okay. So if you can see kind of from the aerial pictures that the pool is in the front yard here. Um, like I said, I don't know if that's the biggest deal. Um, I mean, in a perfect world, I probably want to have my pool in the backyard. But I wouldn't be too upset with this place. So yeah, this one reduced. It started at 565, reduced to 475. Um, and yeah, what you're paying for here, I mean, the home is nice, but what you're paying for here is the view. Um, And then let's get back into it here. So just under half an acre, oceanfront mountain and ocean views and a pool. Okay, so this yeah, is my favorite slide because this is my Moana Estates pick from February 12th goes pending. So I did a video on Moana Estates a couple weeks ago now. And kind of my pick. I didn't say it explicitly in the video that it was my pick, but like the one that I thought was next to sell was 30 Laukahi Street. Now in the video, I pronounced it 30 Laukahi Street. I think it's 30 Laukahi Street. Um, it reduced from 1.899 to 1.799. It was about a 100 grand price drop, and this thing is now in escrow. Um, so let's see where I make the pick here in this video.
There are currently four
Yeah,
homes for sale,
four
priced
homes for sale.
between about 1.9 million and 2.25 million. Most of the listings are clustered around the $2 million mark, which is clearly where the market is anchored. Price per square foot varies a lot from around $700 to over $1,070, which means not all listings are priced equally. Based on nearby closed sales, 30 Laukai Street is the only Moana Estates listing priced in line with what
Yeah.
buyers have actually paid in surrounding neighborhoods. Everything else is asking buyers to pay a premium.
Yeah, so everything else is asking buyers to pay a premium. If you look at the other active listings, you got 874, 764, and 1043. So you can't always compare properties on price per square foot because I mean, well, with condos, it's easier to do that because the condos are like more apples to apples comparison. But when it comes to single family homes, every home is a little bit different. But in a place like Moana Estates where it's all similar floor plans, price per square foot is a little bit more important of a metric to look at. So when I saw that, it was at the when they did the price drop and the how attractive the price per square foot was now, I was like, oh, this one's going to be the next one to go. So yeah, it was now priced at 664, and the most recent sale was 683. So it was good to see that pick kind of go right. And I think this is a good example for sellers to pay attention to. Like if you are going to do the price reduction, this is how you execute it. Priced at true market value, and that's what gets you into escrow. Are my favorite new listings overpriced, underpriced, or fairly valued? So it's a new game I got for myself. Obviously, this is just based off of a little bit of research I did on these places. So there's definitely more information out there. Maybe I could be wrong on these, but one of my favorite new listings was Kahalui Kena, Unit 321. It listed at 359, I believe, and I put fairly priced to slightly overvalued. So it's the most affordable option at Kahalui Ikina right now. So it's kind of the entry level one. It was built in 94, in-unit washer dryer, one assigned parking stall, mountain views. Yep, lowest entry price, located in the heart of Kahului, minutes from shopping, dining, medical facilities, and the Mac. I think I have the pictures for this one too as well. Um, Oslo. Yeah, so here's the pictures for this one bed, one bath at Kahului Ikina. Uh, Pretty standard, but I think it's nice, clean, open. Um, Nice little outdoor living space there. Got the washer dryer, so I like this one. It's a little bit high for a one bed, one bath right now in Central Maui. Um, but yeah, it's not in a price range where it's like a turn off to even look at. So I think people will look at that one. They might come in with a little bit of a lower offer, but I'm a fan of it. And then Royal Maui in Unit 519. So this is completely different from Kahului Kina. This is in South Maui. This is in South Kihei specifically. It's a two bed, two bath oceanfront unit with 864 square feet. It's on the fifth floor, remodeled in 2020, fully furnished, hotel zoned, which is huge. I'm going to pull this one up now because the pictures are good on this one too. So this one is a little bit deceiving. You look at this, I think it's listed at 1575. Yeah, 1575. And based on what has sold at the Royal Mauian recently, I think this one is 275 grand cheaper uh, than the most recent sale, which just catches your eye right off the bat. Um, and then I kind of looked at the pictures of this unit. So I like this ocean view. I'm a fan of this ocean view. There's two complexes in Kihei that are kind of similar. It's the Royal Mauian and Menehune Shores, and they both kind of have this U shape. Menehune Shores has more of a U shape. Royal Mauian's kind of like a half U. But so those units, that are closest to the water, those ones have the best view. Um, and I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure that these ones right here in the front are going to sell, at a premium just because it's like head-on direct ocean view. Whereas 519, if you're looking at it from this picture, it's like, oh yeah, it's a front row unit. Um, but then as you kind of look at it, interior of the unit is beautiful. But as you kind of look at it, here's the better picture. So I think why it's a little bit more affordable than the most recent one is that that ocean view is obstructed kind of by this building here. Now, for me, I think this is a deal. Hotel zoned. I think besides the ocean view, the Royal Mountain has a lot to offer because you're in South Kihei. It's literally like you can walk across the street. There's a ton of good restaurants. Um, and the beach is right there. There's just more activities to do. Like if you're at Menehune Shores, which is the one I was talking about with a similar complex, but it's more in North Kihei, you got to kind of drive everywhere. The Royal Maui, you can walk to anywhere pretty much in Kihei, and there's a ton of good beaches around it. So I think I mean, if I had to choose, I'd be at the Royal Maui. But yeah, so basically the point is that the ocean view is a little bit obstructed, and I think that's why the price is good. Like if you look at it from there, I mean, spending, $1.5 million, you're gonna want a good view. So there, like that's an example. Like so if you're in the unit, you're looking out, you see the building, you don't see the water. Um, I still like the unit. I still think it's gonna attract some. Look at that rooftop areas. That's awesome. It's gonna attract some buyers. And yeah, that's kind of my take on 519. And then back into it here. I think we're gonna look at a uh, wait, no. So here, I think we're gonna look at my favorite new single family home listing. So this is at Keonikai Heights. I like Keonikai Heights. I like the area. It's also kind of similar to Maui Meadows, where you're a little bit higher, um, away from kind of the ocean, but you're still close. It's still 2-3 minute drive down to the water, and you don't have to deal with the craziness of South Kihei and traffic on there. You can just hop onto the highway and you're into Central Maui, you're out to Wailea. So I like Keonikai Heights. There's also not a ton of road noise. It's a very quiet neighborhood. 2635, the one that we sold in January, it was like the road closest kind of to the road. You couldn't hear anything. Um, so yeah, I don't really worry about road noise in Keonikai Heights. This place is a 3 bed, 2.5 bath. It's about 1,600 square feet, 8,750 square foot lot, built in 89, remodeled in 19, two-car garage, central split AC. Um, so the downside to this one, or the problem I see with this, I think it's overpriced. I think even at the price that it's at, I don't think it's going to attract interest. I think they're going to have to do a price reduction before they even start to get people to consider it. So that's kind of my uh, downside with this listing in Keonikai Heights. But as far as the location goes and the actual home, I like it. Final thoughts for buyers. So new escrows had their biggest drop of the year, and only 3.4% of the 59 new listings went pending in 1 week. So I think there was 59 new listings, and two of them went pending. Um, Another kind of important stat of where the market's at. We saw 71 price reductions, showing sellers are missing the market and adjusting in real time. We saw some pretty decent price reductions this past week. The ones I kind of showed today, the sellers actually took some money off of it. It wasn't like, 10, 15 grand price drops. For buyers, it's important to be patient, target homes priced ahead of the comps, and negotiate with the leverage this creates. So, I mean, even in the uh, not super, but even in active areas like Kihei, you still have time. Um, you still have uh, you still have leverage, and we're clearly in a buyer's market. When a property is positioned at true market value, like we saw with the price drop at the Moana Estates one, um, then I think it's important to move. The Royal Mauian unit, you need to move fast with clean, strong offer. The Royal Mauian might sit a little bit longer. That's a more specific kind of buyer. That's the other point I wanted to make on 519 at Royal Mauian, if I could flip back here. Um, So yeah, here. The other thing about this Royal Maui 519 that I put as undervalued at 1.575 million is the maintenance fees are under a grand. I think they're like 976. So if you kind of compare that to like what you could get at Wailea Palms, where we were talking about $1,500 a month, or even the golf course at Wailea, that one was I think 12 or $1,300. So the maintenance fees, I mean, this makes a big difference over time. So that's another benefit to the Royal Mauian. Another important thing to keep in mind. Yeah, so that's kind of my final thoughts for buyers, and then I'll get into final thoughts for sellers. Momentum will not save an overpriced listing with new escrows down and very few homes getting immediate traction. So yeah, that's just kind of what I talked about earlier. It's like even if we do see a week where, new escrows go through the roof, um, probably the next week will be a down week. So it's pretty inconsistent. We're not seeing weeks strung together of new escrows, new escrows, new escrows. If you do have a listing that's overpriced, at some point you're gonna have to do a price reduction, or you're gonna take it off the market, maybe put it in when it's more of a seller's market. If you price at or slightly ahead of the most recent comp, sell from day one because price per square foot is determining what goes pending. Yeah, so I think it's important to price at fair market value from the start and then just market the place hard. Or you could kind of do the other strategy where you start a little bit high, then you reduce. Maybe you have to, take it off the market, put it back on. But I think as those days on market increase, you'll start to see like unless we're, it even becomes less attractive. Like even if you start high and then you reduce and you're at, fair market value and you base it off of like price per square foot, say you have a condo, um, you might even have to go under price per square foot. If you start high, then you're not getting anything. So I think just to come out of the gate close to fair market value is the way to do it, and then just yeah, go after the marketing. The Moana Estates example proves it aligns with the last closing, and you get into escrow. Yeah, so the other, I mean, once that one reduced to under the price per square foot, boom, goes into escrow, and the other three now are probably just going to continue to sit. And the one that went into escrow and eventually sells, that one becomes another comp, right? Another comp that you're competing with, and that one's at a lower price per square foot. So that's kind of the game you're playing as a seller. And for sellers who win right now are using price as a marketing tool, not a starting point for a negotiation. Yeah, that's just kind of harping on the same point that I've been making that you know, you can have the best pictures, you can have the great location, but if you're overpriced right now, like buyers are going to keep searching. So yeah, that's my final thoughts for buyers and sellers based on the last 7 days from February 22nd back. We'll see what happens next week. I think the drop in mortgage rates was good, uh, but it helps a specific buyer. It doesn't necessarily help everybody in Maui. So we'll see how the macro data plays out, and then as far as what we'll see next week, I think we'll probably see similar numbers with the price reductions. 4 or 5% of the market reducing. As far as the new listing goes, I think people will keep coming in a little bit overpriced or considerably overpriced, and we'll see two or three, I mean 5 deals max where we see um, a new listing go pending immediately. So as far as new listings and price cuts goes, I think we'll see that new escrows probably hovers around 40, maybe gets back up to 45. Um, and then active inventory probably similar around 1,560 homes on the market. So I don't think we'll see any major movements over the next 7 days. But if we do, tune back into the show and I'll be talking about it. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Let's see. Subscribe to my Substack if that's how you consume content is by reading. There's usually some good articles I put out, a couple times a week. And yeah, thank you guys.